I had touched upon this point, baseline, during the introduction on planning. Baseline is critical because that is where you can, once you have baselined the project at the planning stage, then you can determine the actual performance of the project during the execution stage. That is where at a later point of time the earned value analysis that comes into the play. So resource leveling is related to over allocation of a resource. Generally on project, a resource is expected to work 8 hours on a working day. Maybe at times, on a weekends, he is expected to work. But beyond that, it is said that resource is over allocated, and when over allocation happens, there are risks involved. The quality might not be as per the expected standards. So that is where the over allocation of resource happens whenever he's been allocated more than 8 hours of work. So one needs to ensure that the resources are not over allocated in a project. So that is where the resource leveling plays a critical role. I just avoided touching on this point while we were discussing on the forward pass particularly. So whenever for any activity, if there is an additional buffer or additional amount of time on a scheduled activity, so that it may be delayed from the early start without delaying the project finish date or the early start date of the immediate following schedule. We saw in our example, we had A, B activity. A and B were dependent on C, but A had a slack or a float of about 5 days because it had in that example, A had a start date of 1 and it was 5 days duration. It was completing on day 5. Whereas B had a 10 days duration and A, B where C was depending on A and B. So there was a slack or a float as far as A is concerned. It has an additional buffer, additional amount of time. So even if it is a delay of 5 days, could well complete on the 10th day so that C starts. So that is about the slack or the flow. So this one, the schedule compression, normally happens in any of the project. Many of the project or many of the industries could work okay, could be okay, but in case of a software kind of a project, it's always schedule compression is a challenge, because schedule compression through crashing, basically you are adding resources to the project, so that say for example, for an activity A, if there is only one resource and it is 5 days of duration, it takes 5 days of duration. The assumption is if you are going to add 2 resources for activity A, then you should naturally take 2.5 days. But sometimes in some of the project, and particularly in some of the industry, it does not work that way. Crashing might not work for all the tasks and all the industry as such. Maybe somewhere, like if it is a kind of a job where it is a painting of a building, then additional paint involving additional painters, you can paint a building, but same cannot be applicable in other industry. Even if it is in case of painting, yeah, there are various painting process. Initially the coat of primer is applied, and over that painting is done. So unless the primer is completed, you can't go over for the actual painting of the painting of colors. But yes, for primer application, yes, a building can be completed in 5 days. Maybe you have multiple painters who can apply the primer. Maybe the duration can be brought forward. Maybe it can complete within a day, depending upon the number of resources involved. The other technique used is the fast tracking. Fast tracking is the overlapping of phases, and which are generally done in sequence. You are trying to overlap, and again it will might have its own challenges and risks as well. So as a project manager, one needs to weigh the pros and cons on the fast tracking, understand its implications, and then you take the appropriate action. So that is as far as the scheduling and fast tracking is concerned.